And welcome everyone here to Keeping Up with Mr. Jones, only on Turf Sub Radio, your industry, your station, and we are live here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and we are zoomed in with Billy Scott from Lake Norman Turf. Billy, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me, Eric. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, sir. It is our pleasure to have you on the show, man. And so, what you guys got going on today, man? I know you are a busy man. And when I texted you yesterday, I said, "Hey, man, let's jump on the radio." You're like, "Let me see what I can do." And I know by just talking to you guys, you got to understand. Billy comes to some of the continuing education classes that I host, and he was with us in Raleigh this past Saturday. So it was good to hear Billy's input. And guys, these guys like Billy are the ones that we need to be listening to. You need to be all over social media, Billy, telling your story. But the big difference between you and some of these influencers, you're working. You're actually in it. You're working. And It's hard to pick up the phone and do it, isn't it, my friend?
It is. It can be a challenge for sure. But I love it. I mean, it's wake up every day, love what I do. Like you were talking about in class, you're a worker. Same here, man. And I think that's what makes a big difference too.
It is. So to kick the show off, I want you to go ahead and tell us how you got started, why you got started, and how long you've been in the business, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, man. So the cool thing is, like growing up, I'm originally from West Virginia. Migrated down here to North Carolina. That's where they say a tank of gas gets us. So end up here. So I've heard all the West Virginia jokes. So it's all good. But no, seriously, like my mother and father both have a really, really amazing work ethic, and they instilled that in me. And so growing up, if you wanted money, you had to go earn it. So literally I was the kid in the neighborhood with a push mower, weed eater, going across the front wheels, laid across the mower. Didn't have a blower back in them days. It just like you take the mower, use the blade to blow the grass off the best you could. And I just walked around neighborhoods, just mowing. And in the wintertime, I'd take a shovel on the shoulder and just, go around shoveling snow. And ended up moving to North Carolina. Been in a few different trades, elevator trade. That's how I met my wife, installing elevators. And then I got into the fire service. And the fire service gave me a lot of time to have to make money, but then have a lot of spare time because I worked, 10 days a month, 24-hour shifts.
Yeah.
So I started working at a local golf course here in Denver, Callan's Ford Country Club, and got to know a lot of the members. I was a cart guy. It's kind of funny. Everybody always asks, "Did you mow the greens? Did you do that?" I didn't do anything with maintenance or any type of landscaping at the golf course, other than the gift of gab, and learned to. Started meeting a lot of the members and everything like that. And then one day I was, started playing golf with them. And I was like, "Hey, if I start a landscaping company, would you guys use me?" And they're like, "Yeah, absolutely." I was like, "All right." So I went out, bought a 48-inch Great Dane walk behind, and I like to kill myself in the first yard I mowed because they didn't have the safety cutoffs on it. Tripped over a tree tie down, and the mower kept going. I was like, "Holy smokes!" Maybe a couple other words, but and I was like, it's not just going out and getting a mower and a weed eater and edger and being a landscaper. And sure. So I said, I had a gentleman in my neighborhood that was a landscaper, and I tried to get some advice from him, and he wouldn't give it to me. He's like, "You just got to learn on your own." And I said, "All right, that's fine." So I started digging, man. Like I just went in. I don't have a degree. I graduated high school, though. And I just started working hard, man, and going out and doing it on my own. And I did for the first 2 years, mowing. And I studied, when I got my pesticide license, started doing it the right way, finding out what I needed to do to be not Billy Bob in a mower, but I am Billy.
Not Billy Bob, but Billy Scott.
That's right. And so, I used to drive 1 hour one way to mow a Chick-fil-A down at Rock Hill, and then I just kept, going each year. I would add something to the business, started adding landscape lighting, mulching, trimming. My wife actually is the one that went to the school to become certified in landscape lighting, and then she taught me. So long story short, I mean, I had some back issues and things like that, and I was just like, man, what am I going to do? And I had to get a surgery. My wife, we made a tough decision, and we're like, we either got to be all in, or we're going to have to do something else. And she quit her dental assisting job, sitting in a chair, nice air conditioning, and said, all right, we're all in. And she quit, and we were scared to death. I can remember us praying for $100 days, and the good Lord's blessed us. And when I had my first back surgery, I've had 6, but when I had my first one, that's when she quit and said, we're all in. And she went out with the guys, and it was her and 2 guys, and she was mowing, weed eating, edging. And you see my wife this weekend. She's a very pretty lady and very nice. And you wouldn't look at her and think that she's laid sod, dug ditches. She was, pregnant with our second child out there, installing trees with me because the worker didn't show up. So it was just me and her. And literally, dude, like, no joke, like my hands were bleeding by the end of the day because it was very rocky soil. And I would take a mattock and I would hit it, and the mattock would bounce off, and just the blisters. And man, we've been literally in the trenches through it all, but that's how we started, as just going out and just, when people do it part-time, that's great. And, but they have something to fall back on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, and it's not putting down anyone whatsoever. And that's fine if, they want to have a job and do that. But for me, it was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going all in. And this is, I'm going to have to work, and I'm going to have to push myself to be able to get the income. I'm not going to have something to fall back on. This is your income. It's Lake turf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was times that we had things that got repoed. We lost, 4 vehicles one time that got repoed. Our house was, in repo status at one point. Back in 08, 09, I'd gotten into the grading by then, and I've been in business 19 years. And then that's when the recession hit. I had a brand new skid steer. I still got her. We call her the old lady. And my mom was like, why are you going to let your house go into foreclosure? She's like, you've got this big payment with this machine. You should let that go. And I said, Mom, I can live in a hotel, a trailer, or what, but if I don't have that machine, I can't make any money. I said, so I just made sure to at least make the payment on my skid steer. And man, it's, a lot of hard learning. But that's kind of how we got started in it.
And to tell our listeners this, man, this is an amazing story. And I don't know, what are you close to my age?
48.
I'm 48. I'm 48 too, man. So that's an unreal story. Very, very similar stories there, man. But when did you move down from West Virginia? Was it right after high school? Did you come down with your parents?
I graduated in 92. And so my mom and my stepdad, they lived in West Virginia still. He raised me great, man. I call both my father's dad. I'm very, fortunate to have 2 great men that have helped raise me to be the man I am. But my biological father moved down here in the mid 80s. Okay. And so, work was booming down here. He worked in Raleigh for a little while. And then he came to Charlotte. And when in 92, when I graduated high school, he said, hey, you want to come down and work for me? He worked for RT Dooley Construction out of Charlotte. And I worked down there in the summers, enjoyed it a little bit. And then, came down, and I had a great time, man. Like, I really enjoyed being down here. And I was like, I think I could live down here. So I moved down back and forth for a couple of years. I was like, I don't know, this might not be me, because I was living in Charlotte. And I just not really a city boy, good old country redneck, And so then he moved up to Denver, and that was when, man, Denver didn't have anything. It was like a ghost town. And I was like, I like this, And so in 95, I stayed here. And that's what got me here. And so since 95, I haven't left, and I haven't left Denver. And I love it, man. I love North Carolina.
Well, good. What year did you start Lake Norman Turf? What year was it?
So 2003 is when I started it. And, like I said, I just talked to a bunch of the members at the golf course, went out and, bought the mower, weed eater, edger, blower, and just started, man. And I had 10 clients to start with mowing, had no clue how to charge whatsoever, man. I was like, oh, this is tough, and, it's everything that I've learned, for the most part, is by just doing it, I mean, and that's honestly, I think that's like the best teacher is just going out and failing. I mean, failure's not bad, man.
No, it's not. Like, it's not.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you don't fail, then you're not doing something. Like, it's you have, there's everything in life, right? You have to, that's good. You have to be stretched, and you have to fail at to be the best at. Yeah. And so it was just, if you want to work out and be buff, you know what? You got to go to the gym. You got to eat healthy.
Every single day. Yeah.
That's right, man. I can sit on the couch and eat donuts and not be successful and everything. But, getting up, the deal, 5 o'clock in the mornings, 9, 10 o'clock at night, I'm still going. And, I'm still trying to find balance, which I think is important. As I get older, I'm learning that a little bit, more so. But man, just having great work ethics and never settling is what I tell my people. In class, you and I spoke about, just, you can make as much or as little as you want with me. It just depends on what what you're willing to do, what you're willing to learn. I'll put you through classes. I give a shout out to Markham Landscape Products. They put me through all the classes to get certified, ICPI, pavers, SRW, certifications, just so many things. And just learn as much as you can learn, and just, take that, with you and just press hard, man.
Yes. And I love the fact that you were talking about failing, because I've always had the saying, I not only want to be somebody's role model, but I'd much rather be their failure model, because my mistakes is what I'm teaching people. I'm teaching them, don't make this mistake. And they're learning more from that than they ever could of my success. So to help somebody not make those mistakes is unreal, man. So good story. Good story.
Yeah. And we talked about in class too, like how some guys are like, scared or nervous or, worry about, giving your secret out or whatever. Man, there's plenty of work out there. I'm the type, I will teach you to be able to leave from me. Not because I want you to leave, but I want you to be that good. So while I have you, I've got the best, you know what I mean? But still, if you treat them good, they're not going to go anywhere. You're going to have some people that do, and it is what it is, and I want people to be successful. I'll help you. I'll help you go out. I'll help you do this, and I think our industry needs more people that are willing to help those instead of not, because then what happens is you get an infiltration of a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing. And then it makes us, that are successful look bad or look like we're right. So I'm like, teaching, man, let's make people, knowledgeable. Let's make them know as much as me. I want somebody in the trenches with me. I want somebody learning everything that I have. And I'm willing to teach that,
Yeah. And and you were one of the few people that spoke up in the class Saturday that talked about labor rates and what you're paying people. Like you said, it's always been a top secret discussion. Nobody wants to share that. Nobody wants to share that. But guys, we're going to have to take a short break. I love what Billy's saying, getting his story from the past. And now I want to move into where he's at now, because I think Billy is one of the most successful hardscaper, landscape contractors here in North Carolina. So we are definitely going to hear that here in just a minute, but we're going to take a short break. So don't go nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. We got a turf time of 7-0 here on a Monday, the last day of February. Spring is just around the corner. I'm looking forward to that. The daylight savings time, I think, is happening pretty soon, isn't it, Billy?
Yes, sir. That's I'll be so glad.
All right, guys, turf teacher and Billy Scott, we're going to be back here in just a few moments. Don't go nowhere. Go fill up that coffee cup with some Black Rifle, and we'll be here waiting on you. And growing together is what we're doing here on Turf's Upper Radio. Your industry, your station. Guys, we're here live on Monday, February 28th with Billy Scott and Lake Norman Turf. And we've just heard his story, how he got started in the industry, what made him want to move to North Carolina. We all know why he wants to move to North Carolina. It is one of the greatest states here in the United States. And I am truly blessed to be a North Carolinian myself. And so even though you've moved here, you've made a life here, you've made a career here, and proud to call you brother, man, in the green industry.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, likewise.
Well, thank you. So you've gone through some hard times, you and your wife, but you've stuck it out. You didn't quit. You kept pushing, you kept moving forward. And you guys have built a business together and a life together in the green industry. So tell us a little bit about where you're at now, man, because, I know, because I heard, Saturday in class, what you're doing now, how many employees you got. I mean, you went from you and your wife to how many employees now?
So we're right. We hover around 30 employees, and then we have some subs and stuff that work for us as well. So with all Lake Norman Turf people, we're pushing around 65 people total.
Well, good deal, man. That is unreal. And primarily, what is your work now? I know it's Lake Norman Turf. Are you still in the turf industry, or are you more of the hardscape?
Yeah, that's the funny thing still, man. Like I thought about like adding something to the name of the company or, some other things, but, it's like, it's my baby, you know what I mean? Like Lake Norman Turf's my baby. So I know there's some things like we talked about in class of having separate businesses and things like that, so, whatever. And we're working on, changing some of that stuff. But man, Lake Norman Turf, like when LKN Turf, it's just that name, man. It really stuck. Like, so one of my mentors, he's very, very, very successful businessman. He could take a diamond and make $100 out of it all day long. And he told me the importance of the name of your business, and everything like that. And I was going to be like Scott Landscaping or ABC Landscaping. He's like, that just sounds like you want to promote yourself, or you want to be first in the phone book with ABC. And I was like, all right, I get it. He's like, so, what's a good, tell me something good down there. I said, all right, well, Lake Norman, everybody knows Lake Norman, right? And I said, turf is going to be the thing that I'm in. And I said, what do you think about Lake Norman Turf? And he's like, love it, and so, and then, so I like I said, the mowing was the biggest thing. 3 years ago, I actually got out of the mowing. I sold that part of the business, pretty much gave it away. So I'm going to say probably 60-70% of my business is hardscapes now. And, the rest is landscape installations, landscape lighting and stuff like that. And it wasn't so much just because of the money. It was, how it is. Like, I was a hands-on guy, right? So with the mowing, it's very like you have to be a perfectionist with it, right? Because the clients are out there watching every little weed, every little, blade of grass, Roundup sprayed on the crack of the concrete, blade into the grass. You got $500,000 right there, right?
Yeah.
So I just was like, for me, I said, I'm not in the field anymore mowing. I can't control it. So let's go on. Let's push the hardscapes. And so that's what I'm doing. Like 15 years ago, I did one pool. A buddy of mine had a pool installed. And he told the pool company, hey, I only want Billy doing the grading in my yard. Your guys can't do the grading. And they're like, well, we don't do that. He said, well, then you're not building my pool. And they're like, okay, well, we will do that. And I did that one grading job for a pool. And from that moment on, I got into the pool industry, if you will, of just really pushing grading, and then learn how to do the tile and the coping and the hardscapes and the pavers. And, I installed pavers myself for a while, and, I started getting the classes and all that stuff. And I really love the hardscapes. Like, I really love seeing that wow effect. And so I just kept the name Lake Norman Turf. A lot of people still will say, hey, you do hardscapes or you do cabanas and stuff. I'm like, yeah. They're like, a turf company? I said, yeah, I do concrete too. And my thing is, I tell people, Eric, I'll do everything but wash your windows, and
yeah.
That's really, like, I will, in a sense, I like to perfect things, like we talked about in class, picking something and perfecting it. But once I do perfect that, I do like to step out and find another challenge.
Yeah.
And, I am pretty diverse in what we do as a company. And I kind of did that to always have, something to fall back on, but the hardscapes, I love it, man. That's our money maker. And it's a passion, man. It's, I love it as much as I do sod, right? Like, you go in a yard's destroyed, and one day, you grade it out, topsoil, sod, and it's like, boom, perfect. And, I like those instant gratification things for the clients. And that's kind of where I'm at with that stuff.
Well, good. And dude, I love the name Lake Norman Turf. I do. And, turf means other things than turf grass. Turf is your realm. If you look up the word turf, it also means, where are you from? That's my turf over there. So I love it.
That's
dude.
right.
I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it a bit. And so what is your company set up? I know, Saturday you talked about your project managers. How many of those guys are leaders within your company?
Yeah, so we have 4 project managers. We, like I said, we do a ton of work with a pool company. I give them a shout out, Anthony Sylvan Pools.
Okay. Yeah.
We just, massive amount of work with them. Unreal, great company to work for. And so I didn't need all the project managers before. Like, I was like, type, I kept everything in my head. I could do it all. I do this, do that. Just I see like that in you too, and that's, entrepreneurs are that way. Like, you have to learn how to be able to do it all. Now you get to a point where, yes, you got to start delegating. Got to that point. It's hard to let go. It's your baby. It's like your child. Like, when you have first allow someone to babysit your kid or let them stay the night somewhere, you're like all nervous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like that with a business. I'm like, oh man, I'm giving it to someone else. I'm letting go, right? And, hope that they can do it how I can. But I have to also learn everybody has their way. As long as the end result, is there and everybody's happy throughout the process, then, it's good. So I have 4 project managers, I have 6 crew leaders, and I have 1 general manager. I have a personal assistant, Shannon is her name. I have I have a materials lady, I have a scheduler, I have a finance lady, and then I have another office lady. So we've gone to, I think that's 5 office ladies. And man, I used to operate this out of my house and in my son's bedrooms. They have a den, right? And they split the den as a bedroom, and we'd have a desk down there, and that's how, I operate. And I still live in my 1,800 square foot ranch house, and but it's we got a lot going on here, man. I'm very, very blessed to have the team that I have, because that is a huge part of my success, as well as having the right people in place.
Yeah. And I think you were the one that mentioned it in class. You were like, surround yourself with people smarter than you.
Yeah.
And that's
right. And my
that's
mentor,
what gets you going.
my mentor has always taught me that. His name's Herbie Atha, and so Napoleon Hill, he had me to read, gave me the book Think and Grow Rich, and there's a saying in there that I use a lot for myself, and I refer this to people as well. But what the mind can believe and conceive, it will achieve. And so, just really believing in yourself, no matter what your circumstance looks like or the situation, you have to believe. And so, not only that, you have to believe that in your employees, and believe that they can do it. That's how many times do we fuss about a client? You pay me to do this job, let me do my job, right? Yeah. But we have to think that same thing with our employees. We're paying them, let them do their job, let them fail and make mistakes, even though it comes out of our pocket, and sometimes they're like, we want to be hardcore, we want to be hard, Hey, look, and I've been there. Hey, I was the guy that, I would fire everybody, in a minute, and not have one person go, oh, well, here we go. But then, you learn, you grow, and it's like, all right, what do I want? This is what I want. Okay, if I want this is what it's going to take to get it. I'm going to have to make some changes. I'm going to have to start trusting. And in class, I said, hey, hang out with 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th. Hang out with 5 junkies, you'll be the 6th. Yep. So I've really worked on surrounding myself with, just the people that will have a positive influence in my life and to those around each other.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Well, Scott, we're going to have to take another break, but there's one other thing I want you to tell our listeners about, and that's your YouTube channel that you're getting ready to start here.
Yeah,
so I'm excited about that. But guys, we're going to take a short break. We got to pay the sponsors, and we'll hear Billy's story about his YouTube page, something that each and every one of you listening today will want to subscribe to when he gets it up and running. Don't go nowhere. We got a turf time of 7:34 here on the last day of February, Monday, 2/28/22.
All right.
And welcome back, Turfs Up Radio listeners. Turf time 739 here on the East Coast. And I know you guys are waking up on the West Coast, getting ready for the morning show with Hecubus at 8 o'clock. He's always got a heck of a show. I think that's why we call him Hecubus. But anyway, we've got Billy Scott here, Lake Norman Turf, and Billy has a wonderful, wonderful idea for a YouTube channel. And Billy, go ahead and tell us that, man. Break the ice with this thing.
Yeah, so man, I'm so pumped about this. And, I think enthusiasm is very important about things that you want to do in life. And we talked about that in class this weekend, and so I'm as excited about this as I am. Like when I go to a client's house to sell a job, I think it's important that you're there, like you're fired up, you're excited, like, hey, I can't wait to do this project. Like I'm more pumped about it than you, if you're gonna like, oh, hey, I'm Billy Scott, Lake Norman Turf. Meet you. I'm here to see you.
That ain't gonna happen. Yeah.
Guy. So my man Eric gave me some inspiration, I had to say. So I'm gonna give you the credit on this, brother. In class, you challenged us in class. So I took the challenge and accepted it, and it's in the makes. And I'm do a lot of grills, man. And you said, okay, well, what do you do with that? And I said, well, I put a grill in. And I said, we most of the time, we provide the first meal for the client, for the the grill build, and ask them what do they like: steaks, shrimp, fish, chicken, blah blah blah, and we get it. And you said, oh, what else can you do? And I was like, and you're like, why not cook it? It's like, amazing, yes. So we're in the makes. We're going to be launching a YouTube channel here very very soon, and we actually already have the aprons, right? So this is pretty sick. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm excited about it.
Read that out to us.
Yeah, so it says the Grill Father is here to serve you, and it says Lake Norman Turf, Billy Scott. So it's pretty exciting.
I love it, man.
Yeah, man. I'm pumped, dude. Like, it's gonna be so cool. Like, I mean, can you imagine, like, okay, I got this nice outdoor kitchen and everything like that. And then I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna cook for them, we're gonna video it, we're gonna have a good time. They're gonna sit back, relax, and then just enjoy an awesome dinner, and just the relationships that you can build with your clients and doing something like this will be unforgettable. Right?
Yes.
Like, there's, the biggest thing that you need to do to, for your business is be unforgettable, but be unforgettable in a positive way.
In a positive way.
So this is, a way that I feel like, even if a job is kind of gone a little, south, or, you're going to have them, it happens, right?
Yeah, it does.
We're all human. We're human. And but you take something like this, and the client, whether you tell them in the beginning or the end or whatever, but when you do this, the client knows, like, that you care. Like, man, this guy, he's not in and out and then gone. Like, he's gonna, like, cook us a meal. He's investing into us, that and that he cares. Is it gonna be an amazing way to show off our work and things like that? Absolutely. But it's more so giving a client an experience that they can never forget. I mean,
Yes.
If I come and cook for you, Eric, after I build a kitchen, who you gonna tell to have build your outdoor kitchen?
We'll tell Lake Norman Turf.
Exactly.
Like,
dude, he brought me over a tomahawk steak. I mean, whatever,
and here's
right?
the thing: they may not even have to tell people, because your clients are going to share that video on their Facebook page.
Oh,
They're going to share
absolutely.
their social media, and your phone will ring off the hook. Not like it. I mean, it already is. I mean, you guys have got it going on, but to see that and to see your personality, Billy, y'all do awesome work. That's all over your social media. But to really meet you and understand what a good guy you are, this YouTube page is really going to let you personally shine. And that is an amazing, like you said, an amazing experience for customers and your potential customers to really get to know you. So, I mean, your work sells itself, but Billy is an awesome guy, and people need to see that. And this YouTube page will.
Yeah, man. I give all the credit to God, man. Like I said, we all have had our, our issues and stuff in life and things like that. But, it's like I said, in the beginning of the show about, I never settle and I never quit, man. I've had 6 back surgeries, knee replacement, shoulder, a tendon transfer done recently to my foot. And I could easily, Eric, set back and draw a disability and do nothing. I could get a handicap sticker. I don't even have a handicap sticker in my car. You know what? And it's having the mentality of making something happen is what you have to be successful in anything, man. Whether it's your spiritual life, your physical, emotional life, or your business, even with your family,
Yeah. And how do you deal with work-life balance? My wife gets on to me all the time because she's like,
man,
work 24/7.
It's when it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm like this, and she grabs the phone and says, go to bed. No, I am trying to work in some balance, and I got a really good team. So let's just take a look. So, all right, this is
we're walking through his office right now.
Yeah, so that she's my my go-to. She's gonna keep me straight and organized. And then let's see here. Well, this is where the materials take place of ordering and things like that. That's Cody. He's one of our materials managers, making sure things get going everywhere. Say hey to everybody, Cody.
How you doing?
So,
hey, Cody.
So this board will show what we'll do is we'll put the product that's on the board, you know, the name of it, a picture of it, where it was comes from, you know, just the name, the dates that we pick up. You know, we try to keep everything organized as possible. We've got our office lady in here, Megan. Megan to everybody. She takes care of all the payroll stuff and things. Eric's online. We're doing the live radio.
Hi.
So then in the mornings, you know, I'm gonna roll up on these guys. They might get mad at me, but my general manager, he meets with everybody, like the project managers and stuff like that. He meets with these guys in here. There's Sierra Clive. That's my general manager. I got Eric on here with Turf.
What's up, man?
Turf teacher.
Hey,
so
how are you guys doing?
good.
It's been good.
Yeah. So we'll come in. He'll get mad at me because I'm interrupting his time. But that he's takes care of everything, make sure things are operating. We do a 2-week board right here, so we can see what's going on through, you know, who's getting scheduled. You know, we had a rain day. You know, we'll put a training day in there. What crews are going where. This is our board actually that we dedicate to Anthony and Sylvan pools only, and this keeps up with the jobs that are in progress. We have about 40-45 jobs on the books with them right now.
Wow. Now, is he strictly in the Charlotte, Lake Norman area, or is he all over the state in South Carolina probably too? Isn't he?
As far as you talking about
For his pools?
Yeah, so Anthony and Sylvan Pool has been in business for 75 years. They're more the corporate company, and they cover the Raleigh area. And then they have Charlotte, and they do have some places down in like Florida and other places. They are all over the country, but
yeah.
Shop, you know, we got a nice little shop here. We talked about having tools to make jobs easier. That's a good one.
Is that going a dingo, like a dingo, or?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we still have the big shovels if need be. We'll break them out, but the guys, you know, they enjoy that. You know, I get the tools to work properly. There's some turf that we do with artificial turf and putting greens. You know, we got, you know, some screed levels and things like that. Trying to have, you know, the proper tool, you know, for the proper job. This is our yard. We come in, guys get started in the morning and go through.
I think we lost you there, my friend. He got disconnected. That iPad is there. You are. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey, sorry. Can you hear me now?
You might. Yeah. I figured you might you walked away from the Wi-Fi.
I probably got a little far. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's right. Dude, a heck of a shop, man.
Quick,
It's just, like it's unreal what you've got there, you know, work-wise. Now, where is your shop? Are you actually in Lake Norman, or are you still like in Denver?
Yeah, so Denver is basically the west side of Lake Norman. It's
Gotcha.
We're on the west of Lake Norman, but my office is a little bit further up 16. It's still the Denver address.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like, dude, I was like out of my house, you know, mowers everywhere at my house, trucks and all that, you know, to this. I mean, it's, and I'm no different than anyone. anyone else out there, Eric, like I said, I don't have a college education, but I have a passion and desire to work hard.
Well,
And
that's
give people,
that's
you know,
what it takes. That's what it takes, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, college is overrated. It is overrated, and anybody that wants to be in the trades, we even talked about that. People think the green industry is not a trade. We hear that from some of our customers, but we are a trade. We are a skilled trade, the green industry.
Absolutely.
And to see your work and to see where you're at right now, man, you're an inspiration to every young man and woman that wants to get into the green industry or any trade, as a matter of fact, to work with your hands and to build something and to be where you're at right now. I mean, I'm sitting there looking at, I'm looking at all that overhead. There's no,
it's a lot.
You got to do a lot of work just to pay overhead, 60
and
plus
people don't
employees.
realize that.
Yes.
It's a lot of money. And it was a hard decision, Eric, honestly, for me to grow, to where we're at. We didn't know what exactly we wanted to do in growth, but it was, some of my health issues with surgeries have pushed me that way a little bit more. But I love meeting with the clients, I couldn't be in the machine, and to grow the business, it's hard to work in the business and work on the business. Right.
Yeah.
And so, I just had to start trusting and putting, some other people in charge of things and just go with it, but still have that same work ethic as I did in the trenches, have that out here, in the office or in the field meeting people, which is, what I like to do as well, just as much as the actual physical work.
Yeah. Now, are you the one that's meeting with all the customers, the potential customers?
So I do meet with a lot of them. Yeah, Eric, I do. Not every single one. I may make the initial contact with them, maybe even in person, but for the most part, I do. Now that we've implemented things, my project manager Clive, or my general manager Clive, has taken a lot of that off of me to be able to do things like this, Eric. I'm so stoked to be able to talk to you today. In the past, I wouldn't have been able to. I'd be in there getting them all going, and what he's doing is allowing me to do things like this. And I want to share my knowledge and share things with people, because they can get to this point also. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Dude, awesome stuff. And like you said there, you having the general manager, having your project managers in place gives you this opportunity. And I want you back on the show as much as you want to be on,
Oh man, absolutely.
Dude, I love this. And our listeners love this. You are the influencers that people need to listen to, not the guy that's been in business for 2 years, who is 500,000 followers on Instagram, and Echo gives him all of his stuff. I want to hear not only the good stuff, but the bad stuff. And you didn't let it get you down and pushed forward. I mean, with your surgeries and stuff, man, that'd have been enough for the average person just to say, you know what, I give up. I'll go on disability. I'll live off Uncle Sam. But you can't sit still, and you keep pushing, and it's just an amazing story that you have, man.
Yeah, and it's like I was saying, it anything that you want, it just comes with hard work, right? And it's easy to be lazy, but that's not what I wanted, and I want to use everything that I have learned, and to be able to help others, to help young entrepreneurs, to help guys, hey man, why? What's the why? Why did you do what you did? Why are you still, doing it? Why did you not give up? Why was there failures? Why, you know what I mean? I love the whys. And so to be able to share that with others, that's going to allow them, to better themselves. And you know what? if some of the you know, the bad that I went through helps another person, then to me, you know what, it was worth going through the bad, you know.
Exactly. Yep,
and not
exactly.
being afraid to share that with others in the industry. Like, I don't want you to go through what I went through, you know, and here's what you could do, you know. And I'm still learning every day too, Eric. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's, I always tell people the reason I'm in education is because I learn something new every day. There's not one single person in the green industry that knows everything about the green industry. It's impossible. But there are people that claim they know everything.
I know. I'm like, I'll be learning to the day I die. You know what I mean? It's like,
yes. And that's what makes life worth living, is if you can learn something new every day. It's new and it's exciting. It makes you want to get up. Well, Billy, I want to introduce you here to Russ Owens. We call him Hecubus. He is our station manager. He is the one that keeps this going, and he does the morning show every day, 8 to 9 a.m. And he, unfortunately, is on the West Coast. You know, it's 4:57 there where he's at. So he gets up early and jumps on every single morning at 5 a.m. his time. So, Billy, this is Russ. Russ, this is Billy.
Hey, what's up, Russ? Good morning.
The only reason I get up so early is just to listen to Eric. That's really all it is.
Yeah, we know that too. You can't stay away from the radio, man.
No, not at all.
You talk about passion, Billy.
Most days.
Most days.
Yeah, this is awesome what you guys do.
Yeah. Well, guys, if you've missed our show, Russ, you said, I talked to Darren over the weekend. He said that the shows are going to replay starting today. Is that the truth? Is that okay?
Yeah, we got the whole morning lineup replaying in the late morning, early afternoon.
Okay, so good deal. What time can the listeners catch this again?
Whatever time it is that it replays.
you don't quite know yet.
I set it up at midnight last night, which is, whatever, 4 or 5 hours ago. So trying to remember off the top of my head when yours starts, because it basically restarts after that. So it'd be yours would be at 11 a.m.
11
Eastern.
a.m. Okay, good deal.
1 a.m. Eastern.
And if you're out working, guys, or whatever, and you want to listen to it on your earphones, you can catch Billy's story again. If not, you can download the podcast, Keeping Up with Mr. Jones. And then we're going to get this loaded up to YouTube here very, very shortly. So multiple ways you can catch it. So awesome. Well, Billy, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. When can we get you back on the show, man?
Man, dude, hey, you anytime, man. This has been like a true pleasure and an honor. And if you want to start setting something up regularly, I'm definitely open to that and would love to.
Okay.
And,
perfect.
We'll especially on, for sure we're going to have to do a live deal with the cook, and might have to get you down on this person.
Yes.
And so yeah, man, let's set something up. Let's come up with something where, if it's once a week, every 2 weeks, or once a month, and I can get together and Russ and see what's up, man. We'd be more than honored to do so.
Perfect. Hey, and I may need to do a site visit. We can actually we'll do a walk around tour together. So
absolutely, 100%, for sure. Yeah,
good deal. All right, awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening here to Keeping Up with Mr. Jones. We're on every weekday morning here on Turfs Up Radio, 7 to 8. Thank you, Billy Scott. We love you, man.
You
have a blessed day. You have a blessed day, and get ready for the morning show with Hecubus here only on Turfs Up Radio. Your industry, your station. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7 a.m. Turf Teacher out.